Hello again, Michael Ware with IFC's Warrior Wednesday today. We have somebody that I spend a fair amount of time around. Some of the guests that we have on here, I'm fortunate enough to laugh and joke and play with a little bit. But today's I'm welcoming my daughter, Kaitlyn Ware. Say hello.
Hi.
Oh, that was a very nice intro. Have you got anything else you want to say about yourself as we begin?
I don't know. I don't think so.
All right. Okay. So you're going to make me pull it out of you the whole time. Is that what you're saying?
Not the whole time.
Not the whole time. Okay. As I'm getting ready to share a screen, and we'll go through some of the things that you wanted to talk about today. But why don't you tell us a little bit about your background? As a kid moving up through being around firearms, some of your experiences with hunting, and then we'll go right into the adventure camp. Or no, excuse me. Let's do NRA Y.E.S first, okay? I'll get
Okay.
that ready for you. Go ahead and talk about some of those things.
Okay. Well, I've always grown up around guns because of you. I think I went hunting for my first time in first grade with you. And then I went again with you the next year. And then I started going with other family. And I think in 7th grade, it was the first time that I actually carried a gun out on a hunt. And that was a deer hunt.
For everybody listening, just each family's different. And IFC worked very hard with the legislature to make changes to when youth could be involved with firearms so they could hunt and go shooting and scholastic competitions, whatever else. But the short version is, for me, Kaitlyn, and for everybody listening out there, it was very personal. I want your brother to be able to do these things when I think that the maturation level is there when you're ready. So I was really glad that you went hunting with us in Northwest Missouri, and during deer rifle season for all those years, to spend time in the outdoors, spend a lot of time learning about the hunts, about the animals, seeing how it worked when we harvested game and cut them up in little pieces and all the things associated with spending hours, behind binoculars looking, that's part of it. You learned it. And then honestly, Kaitlyn, it's probably okay to say this now, and you may have heard me talk about this before, but I really didn't want to push this. I really didn't want to push this onto you so that you thought that you had to do these things because it was expected or was some of the things that I did. So I wanted you to kind of want it. So if you think back in memory, there was probably quite a few times that you asked me, Dad, will you teach me how to shoot? Dad, will you do this? And if you remember, I didn't. I was hesitant. I wanted to actually be sure that you wanted this, so I wasn't forcing you into something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't want to start you out early. I didn't want my heart to be broke or something like that if you rejected it later on, as silly as that may sound. It's the kind of thing that parents think about, sweetheart. So might be wrong, might be right. I don't know, but it worked out for us that you logged a number of years and a lot of hours in hunting stands. I mean, at a minimum, between 15 and maybe 40 hours a year out in stands, watching and observing, looking through binoculars, watching how game moved, how, moon cycles and weather and time of day affected them. I enjoyed doing all that. And then it was time, I thought, okay, let's teach this kid how to shoot. She wants to carry a rifle, and let's make sure she can do it. And you may not understand the kind of beneficiary that you are, because all the things that I taught you about marksmanship and trigger control and breathing control and how to gauge things through your scope and moving targets, Kaitlyn, I didn't have much of that. And I made a ton of mistakes. I mean, I really absorbed some really, really bad habits, and it took me a long time to shed those. So I think that you've started off with a pretty successful career. When I was your age, I wasn't shooting that many deer, and they were not that size, that nice. So good for you. So tell us about some of your early hunting experiences so we can get kind of a frame of reference here.
Like the story of them?
Well, sure. Pick one. I mean, what your first buck was like and the circumstances surrounding it. I mean, let us know. I mean, what were your thoughts on that? You need to be able to share so younger people might be interested in doing these things as well.
Well, I remember the first time that I shot a deer. We had been sitting in there for not very long. Like, we had just gotten in there. We were in there a few hours, and we saw this deer coming up. I'm pretty sure that I spotted it, and I was like, "Paul, do I shoot it?" And he was like, "I wouldn't let this one pass." And so I said, "Okay." So I grabbed my rifle, I took it off safety, and I was ready, and I shot it.
Do you remember where the bullet landed?
Wasn't it right in the heart?
It was.
Because it only went off a little bit. It didn't go very far.
Yeah. Yeah, not very many, just a few steps. But just for everybody's edification, Kaitlyn was hunting with my little brother Paul. So it was her uncle, and so it was the same stand actually that you and I spent the majority of our time in. So up on one of the North farms. So anyway, that was Northwest Missouri. And do you remember things like hearing the shot itself? Do you remember any of that?
A little bit. I remember being really nervous, but just taking a deep breath and doing it.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, it worked. I'm glad. And what were your thoughts afterwards? Do you remember any of those?
I was really excited because I've never really shot at an animal like that before, and so I was excited.
Yeah. So what did you do? What came next? You shot this animal. You were pretty sure that it was down and dead and it wasn't moving. What came next?
We waited a little bit to just like completely make sure that it was down before we went out and started looking for it. And then, well, I'm pretty sure we called you like right after we shot it first.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we decided it was best to wait a little bit. And then once we thought it was good, we went out there, and it took us like less than 5 minutes to find it.
Yeah.
And then we took all of our pictures.
I still have them. I've got the, do you remember what rifle you were using?
The one I always use.
Yeah, but do you remember anything about it?
It's black.
Kaitlyn. Okay, you are a fantastic young shooter. You're a fantastic young hunter, but you are not a gear snob. Maybe someday you will be. I don't know. But she's got a stainless steel Howa 1500 with a Cryptek black and gray stock, and it's chambered in 243. It's got a really nice SIG scope on it, and a few modifications by dear old dad, and it works really, really well. I still have, in fact, I'm looking up here. I still have the empty case. Now, what I'd like to do with that someday, did I tell you that I was planning on possibly getting some of that? I don't know what it's called. You buy it from Total Boat. It's like a clear epoxy or something like that. And
Yeah.
you pour it down in a mold, and it's like lucite or whatever. You can see through it. I thought it might be kind of fun to do something like that, and maybe, put it on something you could put on a desk or I don't know, shelf or something. Anyway, I've got that, and I've got the other empty cases up here from your harvests. That was pretty cool. Anyway, yeah. Okay, so what happens next? You have this deer down, then what happens?
We got our pictures, and we got gloved up, and we were ready to field dress it.
All right. How much of that did you do?
Barely any.
Barely any the first time, which is a little different than this year when we went down. Although we didn't get a chance to hunt, we were there a little bit this year. What about that experience? What was different for that?
The deer that Gretchen shot?
Yeah, your Aunt Gretchen. Go ahead. What happened there?
I was just identifying like all of its parts and everything.
Yes. Excuse me. It was kind of interesting for those of you out there listening and watching. Kaitlyn's interested in nursing, and so she's taking some of those classes in college while she's also in high school at the same time. And I could tell that when we were field dressing that you were pretty inquisitive about these parts and what they were and weren't, compared differently than years past. And so I looked at you and I knew what you were thinking. And I'm like, yes, you can go touch them and inspect them or whatever else. So I thought that was pretty cool that you were interested in the anatomy, because it's I'm not trying to be gross, but it is It is part of it. You need to have an understanding if you're going to hunt where these parts are in relationship to the outside of the animal, up, down, left, and right, turn this way, headed uphill, headed downhill, from the front, side, back,
Mhm.
angles. And so it's very helpful to understand that. So back to your original deer. Do you remember what you used the meat for?
Didn't we make it into jerky?
Most of it was jerky. And then if I remember right, we did a number of steaks
Mhm.
from the loins and whatnot. And I think we left some there with some of the family because they like some of that stuff too. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I think we gave a lot to Josh too.
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
Yes, our pastor wanted some or whatever else, and so we sent him home with quite a little bit. It was pretty fair sized deer. I don't know, I don't have any idea what it weighed all in, but it was pretty good size.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so you've hunted for a while. Let's move forward to NRA Yes, and I'm going to share that screen now. I'll add it to the stage.
Okay.
For those of you listening, this is the NRA Yes, Y.E.S, and Yes is an acronym, so that's the Youth Education Summit, and it's flowing across the screen for those of you looking. So, Kaitlyn, why don't you tell us a little bit about NRA Yes, because you're an alumna and you have attended now. So let us know what your thoughts were on that.
Well, I kind of expected it, like, first off, just to be all about guns and gun safety. And I thought it was gonna be, like, very serious and a bit intimidating, and I thought that I might feel, like, kind of out of place because I didn't really know if I was gonna connect with anybody.
Yeah.
But it was actually, like, really welcoming and fun while also still, like, being professional and everything.
Okay.
And everybody immediately got close with everyone, like, we all instantly connected and all became friends really quickly. And all the staff and speakers were, like, really encouraging and welcoming, and they wanted to, like, see you grow while you were there. And overall, it was more about, like, leadership and responsibility and civic involvement and, like, all of the NRA programs that they have, like, to offer that you can get involved in.
Okay. So you learned about this. Did I tell you about it, or did one of my friends tell you about it? I don't remember.
I think one of your friends told you, and then you told me about it.
Yes. Okay. It might have been Dave Halbrook. I don't remember, or
I
possibly,
think it was him.
or maybe it was Liz Bush. I don't remember, one or the other. But anyway, somebody at NRA told me about it and said, your daughter might be interested in this, or you might have kids that will grow old enough or at the right time period to do something like this. So um, it was, I wouldn't say it was exhaustive, but you put a lot of effort into your application. I mean, you ended up doing what?
I think that we had to write a whole essay, and then we made, like, a video on why I thought that I would be good for the program.
Hmm. Now be careful. There was no we. I told your mother all along. I said she's going to do this based on merit, not whether I know anybody or whether I help you or not. So I had some critiques
Mhm.
for your essay, but I didn't help in any way.
Yeah.
I did run the video camera for your video that you submitted. And what else did you go ahead and do?
I think that didn't I have to get recommendation letters?
Yep, you got referral letters or recommendation letters. Yes.
Mhm. And then, like, notes from my teachers, I think?
Yep. Notes from your teachers. You had to have, uh,
Transcripts.
yeah, your transcript from school.
Mhm.
And I think, wasn't there a grade point average prerequisite?
Yeah, I think it was 3 something.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you were able to check those boxes and put your application forward. And how was your trip funded?
They completely funded it,
Who's they?
the NRA.
Now, the NRA didn't actually fund that. The foundation did, and the folks here in Iowa who put on these Friends of NRA dinners and some of those things. That's where the funding came from. And those people eventually, if I understand this right, and maybe you know a little bit more about this than I do, but those people said, yes, we'll fund this young lady's trip. Am I right about that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So fast forward to the trip itself. We had you fly out of Cedar Rapids Airport. So your mom and I dropped you off. I stayed in the car uh, so that nobody would see my tears. Uh, and what happened next?
Well, I got on the plane, And once I got to the airport in DC, they had someone like waiting for us at the baggage claim. And so we waited there a little bit, waiting for other people that were going to come. And then we all got in a van and went to the hotel.
Okay, so they made arrangements for flights, and again, this is the expenses are all paid. So you flew out for a week roughly,
Yeah.
and you went in the airport, and they had people waiting there for you. And of course, there were guards and chaperones and security throughout. So you met up and you linked up, and there was basically a some sort of reception for everybody. Am I right about that?
Yeah, so when we all got there, like they had us doing games to just get to like to know each other better and just like kind of break the ice so it wasn't awkward since none of us knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so we all just played games for a little bit, and then we had a dinner and like some speakers talking about just like the rules and how security was and everything.
Okay, all right. So why don't you walk us through what your week entailed?
So the first day we got up early, and I think we went to the NRA like headquarters, and we ate lunch. I think we went shooting first, so we went down to their range there at the NRA headquarters range. And then after we shot, we listened to the people who ran like all the programs that NRA has, and they just told us everything that they have to offer and basically all about them.
Okay. All right. So I didn't really prepare you other than to talk with you about obviously situational awareness and where your supports were, and if you needed something, how to get a hold of me or somebody else. The fact that I had local assets ready for you in case something bad happened, whatever else. We talked about those things, but even though I knew what you or some of the things that you're going to experience, I didn't want to tell you about those things because I wanted you to experience those yourself and in your time organically. So you were shooting first, and you went to what? The range is underground?
Yes, I believe it was.
Okay, all right. And of course, there's a museum there, and all kinds of absolutely fantastic things to look at and to see. But what was I going to ask you next about your first day? Because I think you told me something specific about it, but I don't remember now what it was. Regardless, okay. So you get there, you get locked in, you're ready to go. You go to NRA headquarters. Shooting is first. Then what comes next?
I'm pretty sure that after we listened to all of the speakers, then we went down to the museum, and they had a guy down there who just told us a little bit about everything, and then we were able to just wander around the museum and just look at everything.
All right. So, okay. Yes, I do too remember now what I was going to ask you about. How many programs do you think that you heard about that NRA was running?
A lot.
Okay. So dozens?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have any idea that NRA ran so many programs, so they offered so many things?
I had no idea that they had that many.
That was mind blown, or what are you saying?
Yeah, it was just crazy to hear that, like, because I didn't know any of those things that they were doing.
Okay, what surprised you the most?
Probably the program where they're helping, like, disabled people shoot and everything. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, the adaptive shooting sports? Oh, that's some very cool stuff. One of the gentlemen who is a secretary on the Clubs and Associations Committee, I think is Dr. Joe Loger, actually. Either does do that or ran that for a number of years, and I didn't know much about that myself, but it's a pretty cool thing. And we'll touch on it later because I think that your home shooting club here near Baxter is putting in a range, and I think if I remember what Billy said properly, one of the coaches, that their goal is to have a handicap accessible range bay. Am I right about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he told us.
Yeah. So the adaptive shooting sports will be something that could be a reality for folks here on the local level, which I'm very tickled about. So was there anything else that stood out in your mind as being kind of wow, or I didn't know that NRA did that?
I don't know, just like, again, all the programs that they had.
Okay. All right. So go ahead. What else did you experience while you were there? Because people don't understand what we're talking about really. They're like, okay, it sounds like it was a fun trip. But you went there to learn and to experience things and to be taught some things. So what kind of things were you coached on? What kind of things did you learn?
Definitely, like, I was taught, like, better public speaking skills
Okay.
and all the debate skills that we learned while doing debates and how
Okay.
they, like, walked us through those kinds of things and gave us feedback after the debate on how we could fix some things that we did.
Okay.
And I don't know, I learned a lot.
Okay. Well, just for everybody's understanding, you were sent a packet in order to prepare for this. And I remember reading through it with you and talking about it. You had what? A topic that you had to be able to debate for and against. And then you had portions, what? That you had to be prepared to talk about individually or with a team that they had put together for you, a team of 3 other people. So you're in what? Sets of 4?
So for that part, that was, like, our discussion part where there was, like, a leader at each table, and then we would have a discussion topic, and we would sit and talk there for, like, I think it was 5 or 6 minutes that we had to, like, time to, like, sit there and talk and discuss our view on it. And then once that time was up, we would get up and go to a different table so that we were with different people and a new leader, and we would discuss a different topic.
Okay.
So that was all individual.
Okay, so you were learning the art of debate. You were learning how to think on your feet. You were learning how to organize your thoughts and also detect the thoughts of others and to understand people. I know that you and I have these conversations quite a bit, Kaitlyn, but I'm also having them with people that we have on here as Warrior Wednesday as guests, in that we really need to be able to listen to one another and discuss things. I'm not suggesting that every time you and I have a discussion, or every time me and somebody else, or maybe you in your future have a discussion with somebody, especially somebody that doesn't believe what we do or they don't share our concerns. I'm not saying that you'll always end up hunky-dory and join arm in arm and say, boy, that was the best time I ever had. Let's do this again. That may not happen. But it's absolutely imperative that we are able to listen and understand one another. It won't matter, Kaitlyn, if I think that the person I'm talking to is absolutely off their rocker, that what they're proposing is silly and ignorant. It won't even matter if I think that. I need to be able to empathize with them and understand what they mean to tell me. I don't have to agree, but having that ability to empathize and understand is the basis for relationship building, which means it's caring and trust and all the things associated with healthy communication. And it sounds to me like NRA Y.E.S is foundationally surrounding communication, better route of communication, teaching you how to do that. Because really, what I sensed out of the program myself is they want you young folks to go out there and they want to teach you up so that you become basically a Second Amendment force multiplier. Okay, we've given you some tools. We've helped you a little bit. Now, go back to where you came from and put these in motion in the ways that you're passionate about. And you've done some public speaking since then, by the way, and I think that you're improving. Okay, do you agree with what I'm saying, or do you think that there's more to it?
I think it definitely helped me get better at listening to other people's viewpoints and just learn to understand where they're coming from, and definitely just helped a lot with that.
Okay, all right. So you had debates, you had topics, you had group work, you have individual work, you had individual work that contributed to the whole of the topic that was chosen for you that you had to support, and some of those things that you had to pick apart, or what I don't know what you'd call that, something that you had to try and tear down or question. I don't know. But all those were components. So after you did a little bit of debate work, prep, performance, what happened next?
So we had our debates. Are you talking about like what activities we did after that?
Yes. Yep.
So all throughout the trip, like in between things, we went around and toured different sites. And so the day after we did debates, that was like the big touring day where we went to all of the bigger buildings and got to see everything that was happening in there.
Mhm.
And like we went to the Capitol that day and we got a tour of that. And yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you learned the foundation of our country. The quite an extensive tour of DC. Now, did
Mhm.
you spend some time going out the Potomac on a boat?
Yes, we were on a boat for an afternoon.
Okay. And gosh, what was it? Do you remember the? I think you remember telling me, but I saw the pictures, but I don't remember exactly where you went. Was it Jefferson's estate or Washington's estate? What was it?
Yeah, I think it was Jefferson's, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So you attended NRA Y.E.S, the Youth Education Summit. You learned quite a little bit. You were very thankful for your time. And your mom and I was very comfortable. Your mom, maybe not so much because it's kind of a mom thing. But I was very content with your safety, having known some of these people and the folks that were providing security. So I felt very good about that. And you returned home, and you were totally wore out because it sounded to me like you had very short nights. You got
Yeah.
up early, and it was long, long days into the evening, and you were, too poop to pop. Okay, so that's good because kids
Yeah.
that are worn out don't get in any trouble, which I was glad to hear. You laugh. You'll have kids someday. You'll understand. So you come home and then you said, oh, "I didn't understand this. I didn't know this. I was so impressive." And so let's move forward into a few of the things that you've done since then. Let me share a different screen here. How about? Oh, let's talk about. Okay, so you made a relationship there. So
Yes.
one of the young ladies that you met was who?
Katie from Florida.
Okay, Katie from Florida. And you and her have been pals since then, yes?
Yes, we talk almost every day.
All right. What? Wait, what? Every day.
Yes,
Am I not monitoring your phone closely enough?
I guess not.
Okay, all right. So she says to you, Kaitlyn, I went and did this thing last year just before I went to NRA Y.E.S. And what was that thing?
It was the NRA Adventure Camp
Oh, all right. Let me share that screen real quick then. So, and that's where
in New Mexico,
at.
the Whittington Center.
Yes. So now you haven't been there yet, but she talked you into talking me into you going, right?
Yes,
All right. And so do you remember at all how I responded to that?
yes,
What
but
was it?
you said yes, but you wanted to look into it more.
Hmm?
And then we eventually came to like talking about how we were going to pay for it.
Yes. So dad is not necessarily a piggy bank. And so while I was tickled that you'd want to go to this adventure camp at the Whittington Center for a couple weeks and enjoy all these things and learn so much, I said, that sounds great. Let's do it. How are you going to pay for it? So, if you remember right, I'll switch screens again. If you remember right, you said, "Oh, I don't know. I guess I can use the money from my job." And slinging coffees at the local coffee shop doesn't pay as much as we would like. So we made arrangements. Tell everybody what you did.
I cleaned guns for $50.
All right. So we put a social media post out there and said, my daughter wants to go to this camp, and what? She's gonna clean guns for $50 a copy, and the agreement there was I would bring them for everybody's understanding. I own a custom gun shop, so that's what I do for a living is build and take care of weapons, right? So I said, okay, you bring them in here. I, as a gunsmith, will tear them down, inspect them, make sure they're okay, look them over. and I'll lay the components over here. She's going to, under my watchful eye, clean them and scour them and lube them. Then I'll do the reassembly, function check, whatever else. So an adult was doing all the work, of the precise work, and you were running scrub brushes and try not to ruin your fingernails, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you had to earn enough money to get to camp and maybe hopefully earn a little bit more to get there and back. So did you do that?
Yes, I got way more than I thought I was going to.
People were very charitable, weren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, that was very decent and very kind of these folks. So you funded your trip, and you're going to head west. And when you get out to Raton, New Mexico at the Whittington Center, what happens next?
I don't know. All the camp activities.
Yes, but the camp activities include what?
Shooting a lot of guns and a lot of ammo.
Yeah, that's no joke. If I remember right, you're going to be able to use everything from bows up through, pistols, shotguns, rifles, up to the 50 BMG and beyond, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, you're going to, let's see, get that tab shared here. Here's the Whittington Center. And for those of you listening that aren't watching, it's NRAWC, NRA Whittington Center.org. And you can go check this out. And it's very easy to navigate to the youth activities. And so you're going to have camping and hiking and overnights, wilderness medicine. I talked to a lady that told me that they're going to teach you how to cook meals in a Dutch oven over a campfire, all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I got to tell you, it sounds like a good time. I wish they had like old men adventure camp rather than just youth. Actually, if I remember right, you'll have to ask about this when you get out there, Kaitlyn. I was told that they do a special ladies program too. You might see if there's anybody that is interested in doing that, or you could share with them that information. But I think that's right. So you're going to go do that this summer.
Yes.
All right. So you got your camp. You got Katie was good enough to tell you about that, and so you're going to head west. I think I should probably tell folks, and I know that you know this, Kaitlyn, because we visited about it, but we have seen some calamity, some exposure from some of these camps, like when Sean Ryan's recent episode came out about that camp down by the Ozarks, Kanakuk, I think it was, and people doing dastardly, horrible things. And it caused your mom and I to make sure, let's make sure that this camp's adhering to best practices and has a plan, and all the boxes that we need checked in order to be well thought out are handled. And so I sent an email with a list of those questions to the folks at the Whittington Center, and in under 24 hours, they had all my questions answered. All the boxes were checked, then some. The code of conduct that the camp leaders and the adults are using. I mean, they've gone above and beyond the call of duty to do everything they can to ensure safety on every level. And so it really put my mind at ease. Yes, accidents may happen, but the truth of the matter it looks to me like they have done everything that they can do to get ahead, stay ahead of it. And if there is something that happens, they have a protocol. So they've thought through the what ifs. Kaitlyn, as a parent, that makes me much, much happier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a big bad world on some levels. And so having these things well in hand puts your mother at ease. So for those of you listening out there, I'm not saying that this is an endorsement, but I'm saying you should be asking when your kids go some places out of your sight, are best practices being employed? And if so, what are they? So put together a list of that. In fact, you know what I could do in the blog that goes with this, Kaitlyn? I could put a list of those questions that people might be able to use for the camps or the places that they go. I think I'll do that. Do you think that's a good idea?
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Okay. All right. I'll do that. Okay. So you're headed to the Whittington Center, and your adventure camp's going to be good. And so that's 2 weeks long. And How many programs were there this year? Does Whittington Center do a couple of those?
They have two sessions. I'm going to the second one.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna make sure that it's crazy hot. Okay. Yeah.
That's good. I
Well,
can get tan.
well, you'll have an opportunity for that. And Raton, New Mexico is way up north by the border of Colorado. And do you know anything about the elevation?
It's high.
Yeah, I want to say it varies over the property, but I want to say it's like 6,000 to 9,000 and some odd feet, depending on where you're at. And do you remember any of the specifics for the for the property or not?
Not really.
I want to say, Kayla, I thought it was like 52 square miles that they have.
Yeah, I just remember it being big.
It's a lot. I mean, there's premier hunting there. They've got cabins. They have suites that you can stay in, individual houses or whatever with full kitchens, the whole 9 yards. It's quite a facility, but you're going to be well accommodated. I know that you're going to have a good time. I want to get down there and see a little bit more of it myself because I've only touched on it. So I'm looking forward to it too. So let's move forward to, okay, let's loop back. You had people that were kind enough to bring you guns to clean so that you could fund your trip. And so we have taken that idea now and done what with it?
We're gonna do it as a fundraiser for our Baxter Shooting Sports Club.
That's right. So you're on a local shooting team, a scholastic team?
Yep.
All right. And tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I do action shooting on that. It's both trap and action combined into one club.
Fantastic.
And this is going to be my second year doing it.
Okay. So what was your reflection after the first year of participating?
It was so much better than I thought it was going to be. I became friends with people that I never even thought I would be friends with.
Okay. How's that?
Well, we all just got super close and everyone was like super welcoming and it was just a really good environment.
I agree. It looked to me like, now granted, just for some background, I've been a volleyball parent for what, almost 10 years now?
Yeah.
Right. So since my daughter was very little, Kaitlyn enjoyed volleyball. And admittedly, from being a high school athlete myself many years ago, lots of pounds ago, I do enjoy those things, and I do enjoy sports, right? And so I was glad to see that you had an interest in volleyball or something like that. Now, you did do some other stuff. You did softball long enough to grow to dislike it. Did you ever do soccer?
Soccer?
Yeah, you didn't do soccer, did you?
No, you told me no.
Oh, that's right. I told you no kid in my ever play soccer. Okay, that's right. Okay, so no to soccer. You did softball, what, one season or two?
It was more than that. I played like all of elementary school.
Yeah. Maybe I've tried to black that part of my memory out. I don't know.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, it ended up being not for you. You didn't enjoy it. You liked volleyball a lot better. But
Yes.
I say those things to say I've been part of these teams with a lot of the same kids and a lot of the same parents for a long time. And you kind of get in a habit of being around the same folks doing the same things. And I'm not saying that's always drama, but what I'm saying is you know how things are going to go based on how you integrate with a group, and then to watch you be part of an all new group that was outside of just your school was pretty interesting to me. I mean, because in your scholastic shooting club, which is an NRA youth club, you have what? You have public school kids. You have
homeschool kids.
Yep, you have homeschool kids. Are there any private school kids in there?
I don't believe so. I'm pretty sure that there's one who's from Altoona or Ankeny, Katy.
Okay, and is that private school? Well, it doesn't matter. Okay, so you've got kids from different schools. You've got kids of different age. So you've got 12-year-olds through 17.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got guys and girls together. and you're all competing and practicing side by side.
Mhm.
And I thought that it was a really interesting dynamic. I thought that it was pretty cool, personally, as a parent, to sit back and watch you guys practice and watch you guys at meets cheer each other on. So, I mean, when I was a kid in high school and junior high and whatnot, I walking up and down the halls, I didn't have a lot of interaction with kids that were a lot younger than me or a lot older than me. And you tend to kind of run in the circles you're running now. For me personally, I was able to move in and out of social groups with ease and all kinds of joy, blah, 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 blah. But most people don't do that. So I thought it was pretty cool to see, the kids on your team high-fiving each other and cheering each other on, despite all of these things that may ordinarily have been barriers. And so for me, Kaitlyn, it was solidified what I have been telling people for years, that the Second Amendment community tends to come together quite a little bit on some of these things. They welcome one another in. They usher people in and say, "Hey, how can I help?" And I thought this was a great example. I'm really glad that you had a good time.
Yeah,
Would you encourage others to do it?
definitely. I think that everyone should if they can.
Fantastic. Okay. So you had a positive year with your first year shooting what? Action?
Yes, action shooting.
Okay. So do you remember the acronym for that?
Isn't it SASP?
Yep. Yep. SASP. So that's what is it? Scholastic Action Shooting Program. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of one half of your shooting team house, and the other half is the SC TP. So the Scholastic Clay Target Program, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what SCTP stands for. So you've got trap shooters on one side of the house, so to speak, the shotgunners, and then you've got people shooting rifles and pistols in the other. Now, I don't know. I think most of the people shooting clays are what? Uh, aren't they mostly 12 and 20 gauges?
I have no idea what they're shooting.
Yeah, I think that's right. Most of them are 12s. There might be a couple of 20s in there. Does your teammate Olivia, did she shoot a 20 gauge? Does that sound right?
I don't know what she shoots.
Oh, I thought that you and I talked about that. Okay. Anyway, okay. So what's going on the action side, so to speak? So what are most of the people that you're seeing that are shooting pistols and rifles? What are they doing?
What do you mean? What are they doing? Like, what are they shooting?
Yes. What are they chambered in, and what are they doing?
I think that they're all 22s. Isn't that right?
Yes, I think that's right. But didn't Trev Dog didn't he'll appreciate that I did that for him.
No, you won't.
It's an inside joke. But I think that he shot 9mm a little bit too, didn't he?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay, all right. Okay, so you're shooting 22 pistols and 22 rifles, and if you shoot a pistol, you have to shoot iron sights, yes?
Yes.
And then you can add other pistols on top. So you could shoot optics pistols afterwards, yes?
Yes.
And then rifles does not have that rule?
No, you can shoot whatever.
Okay, all right. Okay. So this is year 2, and you're shooting. Last year you shot 2 disciplines.
Yes, rifle, red dot, and pistol.
Okay. And this year you're doing what?
2 pistols and a rifle.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, is there anything else that you wanted to let us know? Because I knew that you're interested in letting everybody know about your experiences at NRA Y.E.S, some of the programs that you were kind of really interested in. I mean, I wanted to stop and thank you real quickly. I know that you've spent a lot of time at NRA 2A days, NRA days rather. I know that you've helped with IFC's Second Amendment Day and our PAC supper, and then what? You addressed the crowd at a local NRA State Association supper, a few other things.
Yeah.
I really am proud of you, Kaitlyn, and some of your work there. And I look forward to seeing what you'd like to do in the future and where some of these things take you. What do you have any advice for other young folks or any people that you might be thinking of on what they had ought to do or how they could start?
I just think, just start and get out there because I know I was super nervous. Like the first time I even went up and did the Pledge of Allegiance on a stage, like I was really nervous. But the more you do it, the less scary it gets.
Less scared. Are you still scared now?
Not as scared. I just get nervous like right before.
Okay, all right. Were you scared to be on this Warrior Wednesday with me?
Not really, because it's just you.
You should be very scared. It's
Why?
just why not?
I don't want to be scared.
Okay, so when we get done, would you like me to send you what would you like me to send you a long list of all the things that I want you to polish up on? Because I can do that.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay. Anything else before we go, or is there anything that you'd like for kids to know? Because you've traveled down this path and you've had some of these experiences, and people have invested in you. I
Mhm.
mean, you've got people like Pete Brownell and Scott Valcourts and Ron Holden and some of these people, Lance Olson, some of these folks have said, "Hey, I think it's really great what you're doing. Let me help a little bit." So they have invested in you. NRA's foundation has invested in you. The NRA folks themselves, they're helping move mountains forward with you. And frankly, that puts a great responsibility on you, Kaitlyn, to see if you can pay that forward to others. And as I said before, and I think it's apropos, that you consider yourself a force multiplier for the Second Amendment. So you can go out there and help other people with it. So if you've got something you'd like for people to know, now's the time to tell them.
I don't really know. Just get out there and do it. Don't be afraid. Take advantage of the connections that you can make and use.
All right. Well, I think that it's very common that the Second Amendment community treats these things not much different at all than the way that you and I do when we go to church. That we look as these things as with others as the beneficiaries, and that's one of the things that I've enjoyed the most. I think about seeing you work in Second Amendment circles because people are investing in you, and now you're turning around and investing in others. So I think it's a very clean. I think it's a very decent thing, and I hope to see more of it. So with that, I will let. Do you remember me telling you what we were going to do at the end? That we were going to sign off here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the last word, and then we'll end the recording, and we'll thank everybody for their time. So go ahead, Kaitlyn, sign us out.
Okay. I don't remember what I was supposed to say.
Oh, you don't remember? So now it's on me. Is that what we're saying? Okay.
Yeah.
No, I all I really wanted to accomplish, Kaitlyn, is it doesn't matter whether it's you or me, just to let everybody know these things don't get done in a vacuum. I mentioned earlier some people that have been very generous and gracious, and we appreciate that. And so we want people to remember that, to invest in others, to help them when they know they need the help, to come alongside people as often as you can. And just more of that. We, IFC, NRA, all these people, we appreciate your membership, and we need those things in order to keep the ball bouncing. So please consider those things, and we'll wish you the very best. Thank you, Kaitlyn. I appreciate you being here today.
Yep. Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.